Welcome back to Binge Guide, your shortcut to finding the next show.
Hey everyone.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Victoria.
And we're diving deep today into a film that has definitely piqued your interest. Judging by the stuff you sent in to us, it's The Actor, coming out March 14th, 2025.
Exclusively in theaters this time.
Exclusively in theaters, which is interesting.
Oh, very interesting.
So we've got a really interesting mix of stuff here that you sent.
Yeah.
A review that you found that calls the film charming but riddled with holes, which I love.
I know.
The Wikipedia entry.
Of course.
And the official trailer.
Yeah, those are always so fun to watch.
So it feels like we're about to unpack something pretty wild.
It does.
Amnesia-fueled psychosis is a phrase that is going to stick with me for a while.
Oh, for sure.
So where do we even begin with this thing?
Well, I think we start with the central mystery, right?
Okay.
So we're introduced to Paul Cole.
Okay.
He is a theater actor from New York.
Okay.
And the film is set in the 1950s. He's in Ohio.
Okay.
And he suffers an assault.
Oh, yeah?
When he wakes up, he has amnesia.
Oh, wow.
He can't remember anything.
Oh, gosh, that's scary.
Yeah, and all he has is some loose change and an ID.
And he's in Ohio.
And he's in Ohio, and he's like, I've got to get back to New York. That's where I live.
Right.
So that's his goal.
Okay, so he's trying to get back
To his life.
to his life as quickly as possible.
Got it.
But there's a little snag.
Okay.
He meets a woman named Edna
Okay.
while he's trying to scrounge up some bus fare
Yeah.
to get back to New York.
Okay.
So he's stuck in this small town,
Yeah.
and he meets this woman.
Okay.
And the reviewer you sent in mentions that this creates a real conflict for him.
Okay.
He's drawn to Edna and this quieter life that she represents.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But it clashes with these broken memories that he has of his life
Right.
back in the big city.
Right. So he's got this pull between these two different.
Sure.
Yeah, it's sort of this like, who am I? What am I doing?
Well, and is it even worth going back?
Right.
That's the thing.
Like, is he?
Is this an escape?
Yeah.
Or is he going back to something really bad?
Yeah. And the reviewer brings up this question that really stuck with me.
Okay.
And it's at the heart of the film.
All right.
How do you deal with the possibility
Okay.
that your past self was, and I'm quoting here, a two-timing asshat?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So is the life that he's trying to get back to even worth remembering,
Right.
especially when you consider this, simpler life?
Yes, this more maybe.
Yeah, more kind of decent existence
Yeah, more genuine.
that he has with Edna.
Right.
So it's like, is it better to live a lie that you can't even remember
Yeah.
or face a truth about yourself that you might not like?
Right.
Yeah.
What is the better option?
It's a tough question.
It is.
I don't know if I have an answer to that.
It's a really powerful dilemma.
So the amnesia in the film isn't really about the medical side of it, right? It's not really about the diagnosis or, the science behind it.
Right. It's more about how it impacts him.
Yeah, how he sees himself.
Right.
Like maybe he was a bad guy
Yeah.
in New York and he doesn't even know.
But he's good with Edna.
Yeah,
So maybe he is a different person now.
right.
So how does he deal with that?
It's almost like a battle between different versions of himself.
And then the film has to show us all of this
Yes.
visually.
Visually.
And from what I've read in this review, they do some really cool things
Yeah.
to show us what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
The director, Duke Johnson, is really interested in this idea of like amnesia-fueled psychosis.
Right.
Like really taking us into that headspace.
It's a mental state.
Yeah, of someone who is dealing with this.
Yeah.
And the way they do it visually is they have all these like scene changes.
Okay.
They're not like hard cuts.
Okay.
It's like one scene kind of bleeds into the next.
Oh, okay.
And it's meant to be really disorienting. But it's also really evocative of a dream.
Right. So you're in his head.
Yeah, you're like right there with him.
Yeah, I got it.
And then they play with color a lot too.
Okay. How could
So it's like classic black and white,
Okay.
and then it shifts into this like hazy color.
Wow. So they're playing with time
Yeah.
and reality
Yeah.
and dreams.
And it just makes you, as the viewer,
Yeah.
question everything
Right.
along with Paul.
Like, what is real?
Yeah, what is going
What
on?
is happening?
And then it gets even weirder.
Oh, really? How?
So they do all this cool stuff with perspective,
Okay.
where like the characters are watching their past selves
Look, but it's
on a screen.
like they're watching TV.
Yeah, almost like they're watching a movie of their lives.
Oh, wow. That is so trippy.
And then there's this really weird visual stuff.
Okay.
The reviewer calls it explicit imagery,
Okay.
like weird little cues and things,
Okay. Give me an example.
like a toy replica of Manhattan
Okay.
and an eye
Okay.
and a chair leg.
An eye and a chair leg?
Well,
What?
it looks so bizarre.
Okay, so this sounds really unsettling.
Yeah, it's really playing with your sense of what's real.
So are these images supposed to mean something, or?
It's more like metaphors.
Okay.
Like visual representations of what's going on in his head.
So it's not that we have to, like, understand what the eye and the chair leg mean?
No, not literally.
Okay.
It's more about the feeling.
Got it.
It's like they're trying to get you to feel his anxiety and his confusion.
So it's more about evoking a feeling rather than telling a literal story.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then there's another thing they do that's really interesting.
Okay. What's that?
The casting.
Okay.
So they have a bunch of actors playing multiple roles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like Tracy Ullman,
Oh, wow.
Yusuf Kirkor,
Okay.
May Calamawy.
I know her.
Yeah. And then this actress, Olwen Fouere,
Okay.
plays 7 different characters.
7 different characters?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And I think it's another way to kind of make the audience feel as lost as Paul.
Right.
Like, who are these people?
Who am I talking to?
Yeah, it's all very disorienting.
So it sounds like the director's really going all in on this, like, mind-bending aesthetic.
Yeah, definitely.
To really put us in Paul's shoes.
Yeah.
But with all of this going on, does it ever feel like too much?
That's a good question.
Like, does the story ever get lost?
Well, the reviewer seems to think that the performances really help ground the film,
Okay.
especially Andre Holland, who plays Paul.
Okay.
The reviewer said that he brought this, like, really inviting warmth
Okay.
and vulnerability to the role.
Okay.
And I think that's important because even when you don't know what's happening in the story,
Yeah.
you're still connected to him emotionally.
Right. You're still rooting for him.
Yeah. You want to know what happens to him.
Exactly.
So that really helps.
So it's less about understanding everything that's going on.
Right.
And more about feeling what he's feeling.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's interesting because even though the reviewer says he's warm,
Yeah.
I wonder if that almost takes away from the scary stuff.
That's a good point.
Like, is it possible to be too likable in a role like this?
Right. Does that undermine the whole amnesia-fueled psychosis thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point.
It's something to look out for.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure.
And the other performance that's really important is Gemma Chan.
Who plays Edna?
Yeah, Edna.
Okay.
And apparently they have amazing chemistry.
That's good.
Yeah, it makes their romance feel really real.
Okay.
And when they're apart, it actually hurts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so even though their relationship is maybe short
Yeah.
in the whole scheme of the movie,
Yeah.
it still feels really important.
It's the emotional core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're juggling a lot of things in this film.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And it sounds like the performances are what really make it work.
Interesting.
So this Duke Johnson guy,
Yes.
the director,
Right.
he's known for co-directing a stop-motion film
Okay.
called Anomalisa.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's very strange,
Figures.
but very good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
Okay.
But anyway, this is his first live-action film.
So he's going from animation to live action.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
It is.
Especially going from stop motion to live action.
Yeah.
That's a completely different
Yeah, completely different.
world.
And the screenplay is by Johnson and Stephen Cooney,
Okay.
and it's based on a novel.
Ooh, what novel?
It's called Memory
Okay.
by Donald E. Westlake.
All right.
Now, Westlake is really interesting. He wrote a ton of crime novels
Oh, wow.
and mysteries.
Okay.
So it makes sense that this movie would have
Yeah.
this kind of mystery element to it.
Right. So the source material really informs
Yeah,
the film.
even with all the like surreal
Yeah.
psychological stuff,
Interesting.
it's got that like crime story
Backbone.
backbone to it.
Cool.
Now, originally, Ryan Gosling was going to star in it,
Oh, wow.
but he ended up being an executive producer instead.
Okay. So he's still involved.
Yeah.
But just behind the scenes now.
And Andre Holland took over the lead role.
Okay.
And apparently, they also considered Aaron Taylor Johnson at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad they went with Andre Holland.
Me too.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
And the film was made by 3 companies:
Okay.
Interlight Films,
Okay.
Underscore Films,
Okay.
and Waypoint Entertainment.
Okay.
I'm not really familiar with any of them.
Yeah, me neither.
But the North American distribution rights were picked up by Neon.
Okay, I know them.
You know?
They distribute a lot of independent films and a
Yeah.
lot of foreign films.
Yeah.
More like art house stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So that tells you something about the movie.
Yeah, it's not going to be a blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's going to be more like,
Yeah, more for people who like
yeah.
a certain type of film,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Yeah, given everything we've talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And they filmed it in Budapest,
Oh, wow.
Hungary,
Interesting.
between late 2022 and early 2023.
Right.
And the score is by Richard Reed Parry.
Okay. I'm not familiar with him.
He's in the band Arcade Fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I know them.
So you know what kind of music to expect.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's very atmospheric.
Okay.
A little bit unsettling.
Perfect for this film.
Yeah.
It sounds like it'll really add to that whole, like, disorienting vibe.
Exactly.
Ew.
Now let's talk about the trailer.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Okay. What did you think?
Well, the first thing that struck me was how they immediately throw you into Paul's confusion.
Yeah.
With that line, I don't remember.
Yeah. He says that a lot.
Yeah, he does, and it really sets the tone.
Yeah, you're immediately in his headspace.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, we're in for a ride.
Yeah.
And then there's that question, what good's an actor who can't remember his lines? Which is such a great line.
It's a good line.
Because it gets at this core conflict of his identity.
Right.
He's an actor.
Yeah.
But he can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So who is he?
Right.
And then you hear these different voices talking about him.
Right.
Edna clearly likes him.
Yeah.
But then there are these other people who are saying he was a bad man.
Yeah. You get these glimpses of a darker past.
Yeah.
And then Paul himself starts to realize that something's not right.
Yeah.
When he says, there's something wrong with me, Edna. I don't know who I am, Paul. I'm somebody else.
It's like he's becoming aware of the fact that there are these gaps in his memory.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Yeah, and then someone says to him, maybe you can start over. Start over and be someone new.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like the amnesia is being presented as
An opportunity.
Yeah, like a chance to reinvent himself.
Yeah.
But then the trailer ends with him saying, but I'm an actor. It's who I am.
Oh, wow.
But he can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So who is he if he can't remember his past?
It's such a good way to end the trailer.
It is.
Because it leaves you with so many questions.
Yeah.
And it really makes you want to see the film
Yeah.
to get some answers.
Exactly.
So it sounds like the actor has a lot going for it.
Yeah.
There's the central mystery of Paul's identity and his amnesia.
Yeah.
And then there's the way the film plays with memory and reality.
Yeah.
And then there are the performances,
Yeah.
which sound fantastic.
Especially Andre Holland and Gemma Chan.
Yeah,
They're the heart of the film.
they are.
So even if the story is a little confusing,
Yeah.
you're still invested in their relationship
Right.
and what happens to them.
It sounds like a really emotional film.
It does.
Yeah,
So yeah, the actors is definitely one to watch.
absolutely.
It could be really special.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Me too.
March 14th, everyone.
March 14th.
Mark your calendars.
And let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
So we've given you a lot to think about today.
We have.
And we've given you a great film to watch.
Hopefully.
That's what we do here at Binge Guide.
Yeah, we're all about finding you.
The next show.
The next show.
That's our mission.
It is.
So until next time, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Victoria.
Happy watching.
Bye, everyone.